Good morning everyone. Today we'll start with grade 4 chapter 11, that is air, water and weather. First of all, before we start with all these, we should be aware about two terms, that is rotation and revolution. So what is rotation? Earth, it is continuously moving on its own axis, that is known as the movement of the earth. When it moves on its own axis, that is known as the rotation of the earth. You know, earth, it is not straight in this way. Earth is tilted on 23.5 degree and it is continuously moving on its own axis. This movement of the earth on its own axis, this is known as the rotation of the earth. And because of the rotation only we have day and night. Now for example, this is sun and this one is earth. So the portion of the earth, the countries which are on this half, they are facing the sunlight. So the countries which are there on this half of the earth, they will be having day, and at that time the countries which are there on this half of the earth, they will be having night. So due to rotation of the earth, we have day and night. Second thing is revolution. Revolution is along with the movement of earth on its own axis. Earth, it is continuously moving around the sun, and because of this only we have four seasons. You know what are the four seasons? That is summer, winter, autumn and spring. Now how it happens? Sun, it is fixed, its position is fixed, and all other planets, they are moving around the sun. Now let's talk about the earth. Earth, it completes its one rotation in 24 hours. That's why we have one day. In one day we have 24 hours. And earth completes its one revolution in 365 days and 6 hours. For example, earth will start from here and it will again come back on this position. So in this way it will complete its one revolution cycle, and it completes it in 365 days and 6 hours. Now see, do you know what is the reason why after every 4 years we have leap year? That is, in the month of February, in place of 28, we have 29 days, one more extra day, right? What is the reason behind it? It is because of this, because earth completes its one revolution in 365 days and 6 hours. These 6 hours, if you will multiply it by 4, it will be 24. So these are adjusted over there in one day. So after every 4 years, we have leap year. We have one extra day in the year, that is 366 days, and we consider it in the month of February, there are 29 days. Now we have 4 seasons on the basis of the position. The portion of the earth, the countries which are facing sun for a long time, they have summer, and the another portion at the same time of the countries which are on the another side, they have winter. And when the position will change, so the countries which have summer, they will be having winter at this position, and the another half will be having summer. So it's all about the what is the position of the earth. In the same way, the portion of the earth, the countries which are there on this side, they will be having spring, and the countries which are there on this half, they will be having autumn. And when earth is in this position, it is here, then the countries, it is opposite. The countries which are here in this one portion, they will be having autumn, and these one countries, this in this area, they will be having spring. Now second is air. First of all, the blanket of air which surrounds the earth, that is known as atmosphere. And air, it contains so many impurities, for example dust particles, pollution particles, whatever smoke coming from the vehicles of the, from the chimneys of the factories, from the vehicles, they all add up into the air. Then it contains so many gases, oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen. There are so many gases which are present in the air. So air contains all the impurities, air, this dust particles, it is mixture of gases, and it contains smoke particles also. And air, it blows because of the sun. Now how it happens? The air which comes in contact of the sun, it gets heat up, and hot air, it always becomes lighter and it rises up, and the cold air, it comes in to take its place. In this way air moves, and this moving air is only known as wind. When there is gentle wind, then we call it breeze, and strong wind is known as gale, and fast and strong wind is known as storm. Next is now breeze. There are two types of breeze, sea breeze and land breeze. Always remember in a very simple way. Sea breeze, when breeze, it moves from sea to land. Sea to land, then we call it sea breeze, and land breeze is when it moves from land to sea. Sea breeze, it always happens during the daytime. Now see how it happens. During the daytime, due to sun, the air which comes in contact of the land, it becomes hot, and the hot air, it always rises up. Cool air from the sea, it comes in to take its place. So how is it moving? It is moving from sea to land. So this is known as the sea breeze. Land breeze is during night, land, it becomes cool faster, but water, it is bit hot as compared to the land. So the air which comes in contact of the water, it is hot, it rises up, and the air from the land, that is cool air, it comes in to take its place. So in this way air, it moves, the wind, it moves from land to sea. So that is known as land breeze. Now do you know that we all drink water, right? We all need water for different activities, for bathing, for cleaning, for cooking, for drinking. We need water. Now water is the one which is present in all the three states of matter in different forms. How is it present? In solid, water is present as ice. In liquid, is it present as water only. And in gas, it is present as water vapor. And they all can change from one form to another on heating or on cooling. On heating, now let's talk about when there is when during the daytime, when temperature is more, then water, it changes into water vapor. As water, it changes into water vapor on heating, and we call this process evaporation. And on cooling, water vapor, they change into water droplets, and we call this process condensation. Next is water cycle. What is water cycle? The continuous movement of water from the earth's surface to the atmosphere, and then it falls back on the earth. This is only known as the water cycle. Now how it happens? First of all, during the daytime, when temperature is more, because of this, water from the different water sources like river, lake, pond, etc., and even from the extra water which is stored in the leaves of the plants, that is also, they all converts into water vapor. And so from the leaves, the water, it transpires, changes into water vapor, and from the different water sources, it evaporates and add up into the atmosphere. Now as air is hot, so air, it will move up, and it contains the water vapor, so it will rise up, and as it will go up, it then when temperature cools down, then all these water vapors, they come close, they condense, and then they form the clouds. And when the clouds, they become heavy, then they fall back on the earth in the form of rain, hail, or in the form of snow, right? So this continuous movement of water, first water will evaporate from the different water sources, it will condense to form cloud, again it will fall back in the form of rain, and then this rainwater, it will add up into the surface water or the groundwater, again it will evaporate. So this complete cycle of the water is known as water cycle. Now water is present in two forms. First of all, the surface water, the water which is present, which is visible to all of us, which is on the surface of the earth. For example, the water which is there on the river, lake, pond, right? That is known as the surface water. And second one is the groundwater. Groundwater which is there under the ground, below the earth, down. That is known as the groundwater. And this, whenever you must have observed, whenever there is rainfall, then that water, after some time, that it goes down in the from the soil, right? So from the soil particles, it goes down, it percolates down, and it adds up into the water table. It adds into the ground water. Okay. And due to condensation only, we have all these different forms. In the morning, early morning, you must have seen small drops of water on the plants, on the grass, right? That is known as dew. Now, when there is winter, temperature is less. At that time, these water vapors which are present in the air, they condenses and then they form a kind of particles. These particles, they come close and then they form the fog. During winters, you must have seen that we can't see, it's difficult to see anything, right? It is because of the fog. Third one is frost. When there is too much low temperature, when it's cold, then these water vapors, they condense and then they form into the kind of ice particles, and they form one ice particle layer over there on the kind of crystals of snow on the different whatever things, objects which are outside. It can be vehicles, or especially in the hilly areas or the places where there is too much cold. You must have seen this, or on the trees, plants, right? So that is known as the frost. Next is hail. Hail is small pieces of ice, they fall instead of rain, or along with the rain they fall back. That is only known as the hail. Snow, especially the areas which are very cold, in these areas, instead of rain, water vapors, they fall back in the form of snow. And rain is in the form of water only. It falls back on the earth. You know that water, it contains so many impurities, and it is very important to purify that water. If we will drink impure water, then we will only fall ill, right? So for this, for the water purification, we have different methods. First of all, sedimentation, decantation, filtration, boiling, and chlorination. Now, first of all, what is sedimentation? Sedimentation is there are two types of impurities: soluble and insoluble. Soluble impurities, for example, if in the water I will add sugar or salt, they will completely dissolve into the water, right? So these type of impurities which completely dissolve, those are known as soluble impurities. And on the other hand, insoluble impurities, the impurities which do not dissolve completely, we can easily see them. For example, sand, pebbles, stones. These are type of, it doesn't matter how much time you will stare at, but we can easily see these. These type of impurities are known as insoluble impurities. Now, for example, I have this muddy water, right? Now, in this muddy water, you all can see down here, there is one layer of the solid particles here. These are known as sediments. What I did, I just kept it for some time, and to let the insoluble impurities settle down, because they are heavy, so they settle down at the bottom. These impurities are known as the sediments. And this process of settling down the impurities is known as sedimentation. Now, if without disturbing these sediments, I will pour only this muddy water into the another container. See. You can see these sediments are there down over there. I have not disturbed them. Without disturbing it, only the impure water I have poured it into some another container. So this process is known as decantation. Filtration is, I have filter paper, and without disturbing, I have filter paper. Now I will pass this muddy water through the filter paper. In the filter paper, this is filter paper, this is glass right now. So the pores in the filter paper, they will allow only water to go down. As pores are small, so the impurities which are there in this water, they will remain up. Okay. For example, tea leaves. When your mother, she prepare tea, at that time she separates the tea leaves, right, with the help of strainer. So that is also one type of filtration. How it is happening? Because the size of the tea leaves, it is more then the pores of the strainer. So strainer, it allows only tea to sip, to pass it, and the impurity, the tea leaves, they remain up. So this is known as the filtration. After this, next one is boiling. After filtration also, we will get the water, but still it contains so many germs, and it is very important to kill the germs. We can kill them either with the help of boiling. So we boil the water at least for 4 to 5 minutes properly to kill the germs. And next method is chlorination. What is chlorination? Chlorination is simply to add the chemical that is known as chlorine in small amount into the water to kill the germs which are present in water. Even in the swimming pool also, chlorine is being added. The water which we are getting in the cities, that it is undergoing all these processes, even chlorination also, then only we are getting. So this was all about your air, water. Now weather. Weather is the condition of air at a particular time and a particular place. For example, we are living in Karnal. So the maximum temperature for a particular day, the minimum temperature, what is the wind speed, all these things, they specify the weather of a particular place. And the weather of particular place, it is different in the different places. So this was all about this chapter.